That remains to be seen. That will be the answer we're all looking for on May 1st. But the truth of the matter is, Canelo, after defeating Gennady Golovkin last year, he has different views, different attitude, and he says that his mentality is definitely up to par to maintain his position in the books of history of boxing. For Daniel Jacobs, I'd say one of the most important factors, moreover his height, his weight, and obviously his reach, would be his mental capacity, his will. Like I mentioned earlier, this is a man that pulled himself out of the bowels of hell. He fought cancer, stared down death, and went back to what his life used to be, boxing, training, going through all kinds of pain, getting out of a wheelchair, and now all of a sudden he has a title. And that sounds all fine and dandy, but it's been a long road that he says has prepared him mentally, physically, emotionally to take on somebody like Saul Canelo Alvarez, where he understands that his skill set is definitely one to take in consideration. Well, the press conference is about to start, and we have the hosts, Carlos Aguilar, Rodolfo Vargas, and Eduardo Lamazon, and we will have the translation by Mónica Utrilla. So let's enjoy this press conference.
Remember his fight against Miguel Angel Cotto, the presentation of Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., and this will be the presentation of the most complex fight for him with Daniel Jacobs, against Daniel Jacobs. This is a good preamble for what we will be able to expect on May 4th in Las Vegas. We do see the enthusiasm of the media and their respective fan bases. Both fighters will be with us any moment.
Exactamente con la presencia de lo que es el equipo del rival, hay que caer en un hombre que ha construido.
And now we have to remember a man who has built the career of Daniel Jacobs. This is Keith Connolly, Jacobs' manager. You know that being the manager of a champion is hard work. He's the manager of the New York fighter. Welcome, Keith Connolly, to the House of Box in Mexico City, Box Azteca.
Atención, señores, el encargado de la empresa Matchroom Sport, que es Eddie Hearn.
Eddie Hearn, he's the man in charge of Matchroom Sport. He has made a very important alliance with Dazn Sports as well, because they are developing the digital platforms that are taking over the world of the media. Here with us, Eddie Hearn, who was a part as well of other TV Azteca's transmissions, not only with fights of El Saúl Canelo Alvarez, but with other Dazn events. Eddie Hearn is an expert in box. Europe is his camp of expertise. Welcome, Eddie. And here, a part of Daniel Jacobs' team, a man who was in charge of his recovery, that he had bone cancer. He's a bone cancer survivor. And this man, André Rosier, who is already walking on our red carpet, is the man who helped him come out of cancer, be a survivor, and again, a boxing champion. He's a very important man for Daniel Jacobs. Please help us give a welcome to André Rosier.
próximo 4 de mayo entre Saúl Canelo Álvarez y Daniel Jacobs para definir al mejor peso medio del momento. El Canelo expone 2 de los 3 títulos mundiales que le ganó a Golovkin en esta división.
Este comienza Canelo. Levanta con Upper, pero no lo encuentra. Golovkin cada vez más lento.
El del Consejo Mundial de Boxeo y el de la Asociación Mundial de Boxeo. El estadounidense Daniel Jacobs pone sobre la mesa uno más, el de la Federación Internacional de Boxeo. El ganador se queda con todos. La primera parada fue en Nueva York, hogar de Jacobs, mejor conocido como el Hombre Milagro. En 2011 fue diagnosticado con cáncer, superó la enfermedad y un año después regresó al cuadrilátero.
So many different times in your life, I think there's no man that you would fear and there's no situation that you worry about.
Saúl reconoce la calidad de su rival, sabe que es un campeón del mundo y sabe que es un reto más en su carrera.
Siempre me gustan los retos. Hoy tenemos un gran reto enfrente que es Daniel Jacobs. Sabemos la capacidad que tiene, sabemos las habilidades que tiene. Es un gran peleador, un peleador que sabe manejarse muy bien arriba del cuadrilátero.
De la Gran Manzana, viajaron a la Ciudad de México para la segunda conferencia. El lugar, TV Azteca. Canelo y Jacobs están en casa, en la casa del boxeo.
Bienvenidos y completamente en vivo a través de nuestras redes sociales para esta conferencia de prensa histórica.
Welcome to this historic announcement of a very expected showdown between Saúl El Canelo Álvarez and Daniel Jacobs. I am Jose Alberto Aguilar and I'm very happy to be one of your anchors. This is not the first time that we give box the place it deserves in the heart of Mexicans and Mexico. We know that the most important platform for this sport is Box Azteca TV. How are you, Lama? I am very happy. Welcome to everybody watching this transmission. This is the middle of a media tour, and this is going to end on May the 4th with this very expected showdown. We are about to welcome a true champion in the world, a man who has become an axis in his sport, independently of the discipline we are talking about. This is a true sportsman, an athlete, a champion, and this is the way we are starting with our press conference. This is the second stop of the media tour, Canelo Jacobs. We have Alberto Ciurana, the Director of Content in TV Azteca. Welcome, Alberto, our Director General of TV Azteca Content. Welcome, Alberto Ciurana, a man who has been a true pillar of our brand, Box Azteca. We also have with us Rodolfo Ramírez, the Director of Azteca Deportes, of Azteca Sports. Rodolfo, welcome.
Por supuesto, la presencia infaltable de Adrián Ortega.
We also have here with us Adrián Ortega, our executive vice president, a man who has always trusted our brand, and a man who has really helped us be on top of not only box, but on sports and realities. My congratulations to you, Adrián.
Por supuesto, un hombre que cuando boxeaba
A man
realmente nos encantaba.
who, while boxing, the Golden Boy, remember him in Barcelona 92, he became an Olympic champion, and then he became an axis of boxing. What was Oscar de la Hoya's mistake? To hit Julio César Chávez, but he has become an axis of boxing as a promoter. Oscar de la Hoya of Golden Boy Promotions.
La presencia de una figura de talla internacional que hace historia no solamente arriba sino también abajo del
a man who is to be recognized worldwide as the most important promoter of boxing, and a figure who has been growing exponentially. Eddie Hearn of Matchroom Sport. He knows the direction of this sport. He made an alliance with Dazn and is taking boxing to the top of the world. Welcome, Eddie.
Bueno, recibió como herencia el gran legado de su padre.
He received as heritage the legacy of his father. His father gave Mexicans the opportunity to go for world titles. Mauricio Sulaiman, president of the World Boxing Council. Welcome, Mauricio.
Muchas gracias. Gracias, Mauricio Sulaiman.
Thank you, Mauricio Sulaiman, president of the World Boxing Council.
Como el generador de los grandes talentos en nuestro país. Y también quiero destacar justamente ya que hablaba de Dazn, la presencia de
Speaking of Dazn, I would also like to welcome Joe Markovsky, Vice President of Dazn North America. He has development plans very important for boxing. Joe Markovsky, welcome.
Bueno, y por supuesto Keith Connolly, que también a través de la fe se encargó de
contactar a un hombre como Daniel Jacobs. He helped Daniel Jacobs. He believed in him, and now he has given him the strength to fight against Saúl Canelo Alvarez. Keith Connolly, Jacobs' manager. Daniel Jacobs' manager.
El trabajo, por supuesto, para que un deportista se defina como un ganador, como una estrella de los cuadriláteros,
champion in the ring, you know that you need more than one manager. Here we have as well André Rozier, a man who with Keith Connolly has worked to take Daniel to the top of the world. Thank you, André Rozier. Again, Daniel Jacobs, manager.
Y por supuesto, señores, un entrenador que empieza a tomar la batuta con muy corta edad, realmente,
we have here a very young manager, a very young man who has been working for Mexican boxing, not just with the career of Saúl El Canelo Alvarez. He's a very studious person of boxing. He knows about the styles of each and every one of great fighters. Eddie Reynoso. Eddie Reynoso has given a 3,600 degree to Saúl El Canelo Alvarez style and boxing kick. Welcome, Eddie Reynoso. The success of a fighter depends as well on the work of your manager. And speaking of Saúl El Canelo Alvarez trajectory, we do have to welcome as well José El Chepo Reynoso, the creator, manager, and trainer of Saúl. El Chepo has always been calm. He has always believed in Saúl El Canelo Alvarez, a historic figure for Mexican boxing.
Y por supuesto, Chepo Reynoso, no sabemos qué le encanta más el boxeo, la cocina
Chepo
o la
Reynoso,
cantada.
we don't know what he likes most, boxing, cooking. He's a true jewel. We should have him more often. He's a poet as well. He writes poems. He knows that life is a multi-faceted opportunity, and he has very different passions. All the men we have in our panel and we, the anchors, have the great responsibility towards the boxing discipline. Remember that the most important brand for box is Box Azteca. And we wouldn't be able to do this if we weren't able to announce this showdown between Saúl El Canelo Alvarez and Daniel Jacobs. Daniel Jacobs has made history. Why? Because he is a bone cancer survivor. He recovered in 2012, and a year later he became world champion. He defeated Gennady Golovkin. We saw that fight, and from there on he has gone on growing. Who will be Saúl El Canelo Alvarez next? Opponent, Daniel Jacobs.
When I'm the best me, I truly feel like no one inside can do anything to stop my flow. Kind of like a shark would prey inside the water. You know, there's a superior feeling that you have. You know you belong.
Jacob says, come on, let's have it. He's going to fight fire with fire.
So this is just a continuation of proving to the world that I am the best.
Y atención, señores, aquí viene Daniel Jacobs.
Ladies and gentlemen, Daniel Jacobs. He is not here because he wants to be a world champion. He is here because he is already the International Boxing Federation champion. He came from New York and he is here with us in Mexico City, and he is going to take on the most important fight in his career and life. Here, Daniel Jacobs, miracle man. He knows perfectly well what he's going to face after the malady he overcame. 1.83 centimeters. With you, ladies and gentlemen, Daniel Jacobs.
Así están las cosas aquí en la casa del boxeo, subiendo la temperatura, no solamente climatológicamente, sino también en el escenario. Porque es momento de recibir a un hombre que ha cambiado el destino de este deporte en los últimos años. Generador de las grandes audiencias, generador de los grandes combates, generador de la gran polémica.
Fights and polemic. Here, Saúl Canelo Alvarez. Welcome home, Saúl.
Ya se aproxima Saúl Canelo Álvarez, Lama, aquí está, en la casa del
Here
boxeo.
in the House of Box, here we have Saúl El Canelo Alvarez, a 28-year fighter who is about to become immortal. El Canelito, El Canelo de Guadalajara, El Canelo of Mexico and the world.
Apareciendo ya en escena, Saúl
Here
Canelo
on scene we
Álvarez.
have Saúl El
Justamente
Canelo
saludando al
Alvarez.
resto del panel. Bienvenido, Saúl
Saluting all the
Canelo Álvarez,
members
quien ha
of
tenido la
our panel.
confianza de nueva
Welcome,
cuenta
Saúl.
de manifestarse como integrante de la Casa del Boxeo.
A member
Desde hace
of the
5
House
años,
of
de manera
Boxing. He has
ininterrumpida,
belonged
llegando a las
to this
transmisiones
project
con mayor audiencia en el
for 5
deporte
years
mexicano
now.
con Saúl Canelo Álvarez. Y es justamente lo que queremos presentar.
And this is what we want to announce. After this career of successes and wins of big fight nights, full of Mexicans expecting to see him win again, here with us, Saúl El Canelo Alvarez in Mexico. Welcome, Saúl.
Oye, Canelo, gracias. Por cada
Hey,
entrenamiento,
Canelo, thank you
por cada kilómetro, cada
for
salto que
every kilometer
por
you
seguir
run,
girando cuando los sueños queman, por esa última
for your
serie,
sacrifice,
por mi cuerpo ya no duele.
for all your hard work.
Gracias por cada
Thank you.
pelea, por cada
Thank you
round,
for
por
every
cada
fight, for every round, for every punch, for looking for the knockout non-stop.
por resistir lo que sea.
Thank you for
con tal de
resisting.
conectar. Gracias por cada función, por cada
Just to connect. Thank you for every function and for stepping and for standing up all the time stronger.
Gracias por cada alegría,
Thank you
por dejarnos
for all the joys you have given us. Thank you for letting us share your triumph. Thank you for letting us see your career and development.
Porque te acompañamos al Madison
Because
Square
we have even been with you at Madison Square Garden when you got your third title in a different
Porque tus
division.
éxitos
Because your successes have been our successes. That's the way that we feel them and live them. Thank you for being
bienvenido.
Azteca. Welcome.
La era del Canelo es la mejor porque peleó con los mejores.
I am the best because I fight with the
Bienvenidos
best.
a todos con este
Welcome
carnaval de
all of you in
alegría
this true
boxística.
carnival
Destacar
of
que fuimos la
boxing
primera
joy.
televisora en 2007 en
In
transmitir las peleas de
2007,
Saúl
we were the
Canelo
first
Álvarez. Ahí
TV
empezaba a dibujarse la figura. ¿Te acuerdas perfectamente,
channel
Lama,
to
de ese
transmit
momento?
his
Cuando
fights.
empezamos con el Canelo.
Do you
pequeñito,
remember, Lama,
creciendo,
when we
ahí
started
iba
with
paso a
him,
paso, y
we
ahora en lo que se ha
saw him
convertido.
from he was a very young kid. Of course, I remember. Those are great memories. And nothing like remembering El Canelo's trajectory. We have seen him in more than 50 fights now, and he is a true world champion. A champion for Mexico, a champion for the world, with his own and very particular style and an enormous future. He has allowed us see him from very close. We have seen his career. We have been able to understand the sacrifice of his work. Now, what do we have? A true Mexican champion. We are really thankful, Saúl. Thank you for letting us accompany you in your career. Here, in the heart of TV Azteca, we have a true generator of boxing for Open TV. Times have changed, and what we are looking for are for new alliances. That's why one of our main objectives is to offer the best of the best in boxing. And here, to start our press conference, I want to welcome Alberto Ciurana, Director General of TV Azteca Content. Thank you, Alberto. Thank you so much. First of all, thank you to all the media, either national and international. Welcome to your house here, TV Azteca. and to the hosts of our different shows. Welcome to you all that accompany in this panel. I was telling Daniel that this is a very beautiful day, especially for TV Azteca, for Azteca Sports, for Azteca 7, because it has become the most important platform for boxing in Mexico for many years now. In particular, I want to welcome our top fighter. Welcome, Saúl Canelo Alvarez.
Welcome, Daniel. Bienvenido a México y bienvenido.
Welcome, Daniel. Welcome to Mexico and to TV Azteca. In particular, I want to welcome a man with whom I have a very important friendship, Oscar de la Hoya, my friend. Welcome.
Para nosotros, como lo hemos dicho siempre,
we have always said that we have a very important commitment with our audience, with this sport and with the world of sports. We will always focus in strengthening the culture of box through Azteca 7 and our different platforms, to strengthen what has become already in a very important house for boxing in Mexico. I want to thank all of you for being with us. Remember, we have a date on May 4th. Please enjoy the fight. Welcome to this your house, Televisión Azteca.
Recuerden que estamos en parte de la gira promocional que comenzó en Nueva York
part of a media tour that started a couple of days ago in New York. Here now we are in Mexico City, and this tour is going to finish in LA next Monday. Let me invite Golden Boy, Oscar de la Hoya, Director of Golden Boy Promotions. Oscar, welcome.
Muchas gracias.
Thank you very much.
Gracias a todos los medios presentes
Thank you
que siempre nos han apoyado. También gracias a TV Azteca por recibirnos en su hogar para efectuar este evento en tierra mexicana.
For being our guests to announce this fight. On May the 4th, Saúl El Canelo Alvarez will fight Daniel Jacobs, the Miracle Man. This is undoubtedly an enormous fight between the two top middleweight champions. Saúl El Canelo Alvarez will be defending WBA and WBC super titles and belts. Daniel Jacobs will be defending the International Boxing Federation belt. The fighter that wins will unify these titles to show that he is the best in the 160 pounds category. As well, this is a very important fight because we will see the top resistant fighters. With Canelo, we have a very young fighter who started fighting when he was 15, a 15-year-old boy. At the same time, Canelo has become one of our top fighters. Mexico is a country recognized worldwide because of our champions, boxing champions. Not only in the world of sports, but as well in culture. But we should remember Kid Azteca, Casanova, Macía, Medel, Torres, Olivares, Castillo, Canto, Espadas, Cuevas, Zárate, Zamora, Pintor, A la Camada, and figures like Chávez, Sánchez, López, La Chiquita González, Barrera, y Morales, among others. Boxing for Mexico has given us great joys and triumphs. El Canelo is our next star. He will belong to this very exclusive list. And he does have the WBC belt, the World Boxing Council. He has had it for 3 times now, this green and golden belt. With Jacobs, we do have a champion that has overcome
pues ganó
a tremendous
una bella
challenge
batalla contra el cáncer.
because he won
Jacobs
a battle
mostró que tan
against
fuerte era,
bone cancer.
regresando
And at the same time,
fuerza para
he
capturar
came back
dos
a champion.
campeonatos mundiales.
He won 2
Ahora se
championships,
encuentra
and
en la
now
cima del deporte,
he is on top
enfrentando
of his
a la
discipline,
estrella más grande
about to
del
fight
civilismo. Esta pelea se
the
llevará a
biggest
cabo
star
en el
in
T-Mobile
boxing.
Arena
This
en
will
Las
be
Vegas.
celebrated on the
Así que agradecemos a
T-Mobile
nuestros
Arena
socios del
in Las
T-Mobile
Vegas,
Arena
so we thank our
por
friends of the
presentar por
T-Mobile
quinta
Arena
ocasión
because they are going
pelea
to
del
have
Canelo
this
Alvarez.
a Canelo's fight for
Canelo
a
dio a
fifth
conocer al
occasion.
mundo esta
Canelo
mágica arena en su batalla
made
contra
this
Amir Khan
magic
y
arena
contra
a
victorias
place
sobre
well known
Chávez Jr.
all
y
over the
Golovkin.
world. Remember,
La ha
he fought
convertido en su
Chávez,
hogar.
Golovkin, and he has
Para
made of
aquellos
this arena
aficionados
his home.
que no pueden ver
For
esta
all the
pelea en
fans
vivo,
that won't be
el
able to
combate
see
sería
him live,
presentado por la plataforma
you should
Dazn,
see this in the Zone
DAZN
platform,
en los Estados
DZN
Unidos
in the US.
y en México solamente por TV
DAZN.
Azteca.
And if you want to watch
Este
this
4
in
de
Mexico,
mayo
you
sería
should
una
watch
noche
it
histórica
in
para
TV
Golden Boy.
Azteca.
Y esperemos
This is
ver
going
una gran
to be a
actuación de
historic
nuestro
night
campeón
for
Canelo
Golden Boy.
Álvarez, quien
We
sin duda
hope to see
se
our
perfila a
Canelo
obtener
Alvarez
un
triumph
gran triunfo para todo México.
because it
Gracias.
would be a win for all of Mexico. Thank you.
Muchas gracias al
Thank
Golden Boy,
you
un
to
histórico de
Golden
este
Boy,
deporte, sin duda alguna.
a historic
Y hablábamos
figure
justamente
in the
de
box
crear
world.
alianzas, hablábamos
We were
justamente
talking
de
about
desarrollar,
creating
de catapultar,
alliances
de provocar
to
y seguir con el
catapulting
crecimiento del
figures
boxeo.
and stars.
Y precisamente surgen plataformas
That's
en el
why
mundo
we
como
have
Dazn.
platforms
Quiero
like
escuchar e
Dazn.
invitar al estrado a John Markovsky,
I
quien es el
want to
vicepresidente
invite
de Dazn
Joe
en
Markovsky,
Norteamérica, para que
Vice
nos
President
platique
of
justamente
Dazn
hacia dónde
North
apunta
America.
Dazn en
Please
el
tell
boxeo.
us, Joe, about the future of the zone.
Well, thank you to Oscar and thank you to our friends at TV Azteca for hosting us here in Mexico City this afternoon. I think it's fair to say that boxing's having a bit of a moment, and after much discussion and investment across the industry, one fight on the calendar stands out as the premier boxing event this year, and that's Canelo Jacobs, fight of the year,
Después de tanto
unquestionably.
trabajo que hemos hecho, esta pelea es la pelea premier que podemos hacer en el 2019 y es Canelo Álvarez contra Daniel Jacobs.
This fight, simply put, has everything. Champion versus champion. In Canelo Alvarez, a global superstar. And in Danny Jacobs, an inspiring New Yorker.
Esta pelea lo tiene todo, campeón contra campeón, una superestrella en Canelo Álvarez y un gran peleador, un gran campeón como Daniel Jacobs.
In fact, the only thing missing from this monster showdown is the pay-per-view price point in the United States. And that's why it was so important for us to make this fight with our friends at Golden Boy and with Matchroom.
Lo único que le falta a esta pelea es el costo de pago por evento en Estados Unidos. Pero gracias a la alianza con nuestros socios de Golden Boy Promotions y Matchroom Boxing, hemos podido.
On any other broadcast platform, on any other network, this fight will be behind a paywall at $85, $90, maybe even $100.
En cualquier otra plataforma estarían pagando de 70, 80 o hasta $100 por una pelea de este nivel.
But not with Dazn, because our intentions in the US market are very, very different.
Pero no con Dazn. Nuestras intenciones en el mercado americano son muy diferentes.
I think it's fair to say that many in the US media laughed at our ambitions when we entered the market last September. But here we are, approaching our first Cinco de Mayo weekend since we launched, with an absolute monster showdown that will demonstrate the value to US fight fans that we set out to deliver in the US.
En la prensa de Estados Unidos les encantó la idea y ahora, un año después, nuestro primer 4 de mayo lo vamos a celebrar con una gran pelea monstruosa como la es Canelo Álvarez contra Daniel Jacobs.
When those fight fans wake up on May the 5th, there won't be an $85 bill waiting for them. And that will be a transformational moment in the business of boxing in the US and more broadly, the business of sports.
El 5 de mayo, cuando amanezcan esos fans y no tengan el costo, la deuda de $100, ahí es donde va a trascender el deporte del boxeo mundialmente.
And for the fighters, let's not forget that for decades, becoming a pay-per-view fighter was the career goal.
Y para los peleadores, la meta siempre fue llegar a ser un peleador de pago por evento.
But what if you could deliver and earn a pay-per-view level purse without constricting the audience for your sport's biggest moments.
Pero hoy pueden llegar a ser peleadores que ganen las bolsas de pago por evento sin costarle al televidente.
And that's what it will mean to become a Dazn fighter, and that's why we're so confident in going out and acquiring the biggest names in the sport. Canelo Alvarez, Danny Jacobs, Anthony Joshua, Jaime Munguia, the list goes on.
Y eso es lo que significa ser un atleta, un deportista, un boxeador de Dazn, como Canelo, como Daniel Jacobs, como Anthony Joshua y como Jaime Munguia.
So to both Dazn fighters on this stage, I wish you the best of luck in camp over the next 2 months, and we look forward to seeing you and everyone else in Las Vegas on Cinco de Mayo weekend.
Y a los dos campeones aquí les deseamos todo lo mejor en sus campamentos. Los vemos el 4 de mayo. Muchísimas gracias a todos ustedes.
Thank you very much. Gracias.
Bueno, ahí están las palabras de Joe Markowski.
This was Joe Markowski. Thank you so much for your words. Mauricio Sulaiman has one goal in his life, not just regarding Mexican fighters and spectacles like this. So, Mauricio, welcome the President of the World Boxing Council.
Muy buenas tardes a todos.
Good afternoon to you all.
Más chaparrito que él.
I'm so excited to be here in the House of Boxing. Eddie Hearn, Danny Jacobs, and his team. Welcome to Mexico. Dazn, welcome to Mexico. Welcome to the world. This is truly the House of Boxing. And it's a pleasure to see how you will make of this fight the true event it is. Canelo is a fighter that has given a lot of joy to Mexicans. He was born with his gloves on. He has as well a great team with Oscar de la Hoya, with El Chepo, with Eddie Reynoso. They are a true team. I am very glad to see all these belts here, because this shows that what people want to see is a fight of champion versus champion. El Canelo will be representing the World Boxing Council that night, and I know he will be great. TV Azteca has modified the way Mexico saw boxing. Now this is the best moment for boxing. I want to congratulate you, but for all you have done for this sport. At the same time, I would like to make a special announcement, because the World Boxing Council will give a new step. Canelo is a fighter that has broken all hurdles. And now boxing is going to be seen in a different fashion, because he will become a champion of a whole brand now. But we do want to listen to El Canelo and to Jacobs. Please remember that this May 4th, as well as May the 5th, are important dates that Mexico has gifted the world, because let's remember Chavez and El Canelo. This is a great boxing weekend. The same way we made the Huichol and the Chiapanecan belt, we are going to present a new belt, the Mayan belt. We are working on its design. And just to let you have a taste of what it will be like, we are going to present Danny Jacobs and El Saúl El Canelo Alvarez, a Mayan glove. So I am asking these beautiful ladies to give us these gloves. One for Danny. And one for our champion, El Canelo Alvarez.
Y también tenemos un premio para que Oscar de la Hoya y Eddie Hearn se lo disfruten.
A prize so that Oscar de la Hoya or Eddie Hearn make it. They will have to choose.
Una vez más, a los medios de comunicación, gracias por mantener
Thank you
vivo
again
nuestro
to all the
deporte.
media
Gracias
that is
Azteca,
covering
Televisión
this
Azteca, la Casa
conference.
del Boxeo.
Thank you,
Dios los bendiga y que sea
Televisión
algo
Azteca.
histórico.
God bless
Así
you,
como
and I
Chávez,
wish
como el
this
Puz, que
fight
está por
to
aquí.
be a
Así como
historic
Oscar de
fight.
la Hoya dieron grandes noches
The
de
way Oscar de la
pasión.
Hoya
Estoy seguro
gave
que
us
Canelo
great
y Jacob
fight
lo harán.
nights,
Muchas gracias.
I am sure El Canelo and Danny will
Muchas
give us a
gracias a
great
Mauricio
fight.
Sulaimán,
Thank you to
presidente del Consejo
Mauricio
Mundial de
Sulaiman,
Boxeo. Y ya se
President
mencionaba
of the World
justamente en los tiempos
Boxing
modernos,
Council.
en los tiempos actuales, lo importante para
We know
lograr
that
el
nowadays
éxito y
the
llegar a los
important
objetivos
to
es el
achieve
trabajo en
success
equipo. Y
is
un hombre
teamwork.
que a través justamente de la
And
promoción
a
del
man
boxeo,
who
que
has
viene de
worked
cerca,
hard
su
on
padre
promoting
también fue un
box,
extraordinario promotor de
learned
boxeo
from
y de
his
los
father,
deportes.
an
Ahora
extraordinary
tomando la estafeta,
boxing promoter,
que
Eddie
tiene
Hearn,
grandes peleadores en su haber, entre
who
ellos
has great
Anthony
fighters,
Joshua, justamente
Anthony
campeón
Joshua,
mundial de los completos en diferentes
world
organismos.
champion,
Eddie Hearn, que además tiene ese
Eddie
vínculo
Hearn, who has
importantísimo
this very
con Dazn.
important link
Eddie Hearn,
with the
Eddie
Sun.
Hearn,
Eddie
bienvenido.
Hearn, welcome.
Thank you very much. Robert, you ready? You ready?
I'm ready. We were born ready on this side.
Don't make anything up.
Canelo es de lo mejor que yo he visto en todo.
Thank you, thank you. It's great to be here today. Last week we were in Tijuana for a show with Azteca and Dazn, and this week we're in Mexico City. I love this place. I love the passion.
Estar aquí con ustedes. La semana pasada nos tocó estar en Tijuana en un evento con TV Azteca, pero me adoro este lugar.
I love this place so much so that I've spoken to my real estate agent.
He hablado con mi agente de bienes y raíces.
And I'm looking to move in the next few weeks.
En las próximas semanas estaré moviéndome a vivir a México.
But in the meantime, I'm going to be staying in Mauricio's spare room.
Mientras tanto estaré quedándome en la casa de Mauricio.
Of which I hear he has many.
Sé que tiene muchas.
I just want to congratulate many people involved in this promotion. Of course, we want to thank Golden Boy and Canelo for accepting this huge challenge.
Quiero darle las gracias, felicitar a mucha gente que ha estado en este evento, especialmente a Golden Boy y a Canelo por tomar este gran reto.
We want to thank Dazn, who really are changing the sport of boxing in America. They've been an amazing partner and we are just getting started.
Y a Dazn, que está haciendo un cambio drástico en el boxeo y en Estados Unidos, un gran socio. Estamos haciendo muchos cambios.
We want to thank Tecate, the sponsor, and of course Azteca for hosting us today on this fantastic event.
A Tecate, patrocinador, y Azteca, claro, por este magnífico evento que tienen hoy.
I learned today that Azteca's slogan was La Casa del Boxeo.
Hoy aprendí el logo de Azteca TV, la Casa del Boxeo.
But Azteca is not just the home of boxing in Mexico, but Mexico is the home of boxing.
Azteca no solamente es la casa del boxeo en México, pero México es el boxeo.
I noticed in a picture last night when I entered my room, there was a magazine kindly placed with Canelo on the front cover.
Noté en mi cuarto, en mi habitación en el hotel, cuando llegué, y en la primera plana, Canelo Alvarez.
He had a tattoo on his arm which said, "No boxing, no life."
Y tenía un tatuaje en su brazo que decía, sin el box no hay vida.
This demonstrates the passion for the sport that we all have here. Us, Matchroom, Dazn, Mauricio, Golden Boy, Oscar de la Hoya, everyone, how we all feel about the sport of boxing.
Y esto demuestra la pasión que tenemos todos aquí arriba, Oscar, nuestra gente de Matchroom, Golden Boy, Canelo, Jacobs y todos ustedes.
And when you have a fighter like Canelo who wants to be the best, who wants to fight the best, it is a great time for the sport of boxing.
Y cuando tienes un peleador, un campeón como Canelo, que quiere pelear con los mejores, quiere ser el mejor, es un gran momento en nuestro deporte.
In Danny Jacobs, he faces not only an amazing champion, but an amazing man.
Y en Danny Jacobs, su rival enfrente, no solamente se enfrenta a un gran campeón, pero a un gran hombre.
He was told by the doctors he may not live, he may not walk again, but he will certainly never fight again.
Le habían dicho que tal vez no iba a haber otro día de vida, tal vez no caminaba, pero muy seguro jamás volviera a pelear.
He stands before us today with a chance to take part in the biggest fight of the year and become the #1 middleweight on the planet.
Y hoy en día aquí está enfrentando posiblemente llegar a ser el mejor peso medio del planeta.
He was asked the question today in the Azteca interview, how would you feel to win this fight and go alongside the greats of Bernard Hopkins, Sugar Ray Leonard, Marvin Hagler, great middleweights before us?
Hoy en la entrevista le preguntaron cómo te sentirías de ganar esta pelea y agregar a esta lista de grandes pesos medianos como Bernard Hopkins, Sugar Ray Robinson y Marvin Hagler y Bernard Hopkins.
And I saw in his eye,
y lo vi en sus ojos.
I saw the hairs on his hands
Le vi
stand up.
cómo se le pararon los cabellos.
This is what it means to Danny Jacobs.
Esto
We
es lo que
have a
significa
fight
a Danny
on
Jacobs.
Cinco de Mayo weekend that you will not forget.
Y ahora tenemos una pelea que no se van a olvidar nunca, el 5 de mayo.
I could talk all day. This is what I do for a living.
Puedo hablar todo el día, es lo que hago de trabajo.
But for now, all I want to say
Pero por ahora, lo único que quiero decirles
is we look forward to an amazing event on May the 4th in Las Vegas, live on Dazn, live on Azteca.
tendremos un gran evento el 4 de mayo en Las Vegas por Dazn.
And finally, a huevo, viva Mexico. Thank you.
Aplausos, señores, para Eddie Hearn. Cuando la pasión
Thank
se
you,
desborda, cuando
Eddie
esas
Hearn.
palabras llegan y
We
empoderan,
feel the
es que hay
passion
un
in
verdadero
his
motivo
words.
que se llama boxeo. Agradecemos en verdad a
Thank
Eddie
you
Hearn
for your
sus
love
palabras.
for
Y Keith
boxing.
Connolly sabe perfectamente
Keith
lo que
Connolly
representa ser el manager de
knows
Jacobs.
what
Jacobs,
it
con
means
esta
to be
historia
Jacob's
de superar el
manager
cáncer,
with this
en verdad
history
queremos
of being a
escucharla
bone
a través de
cancer
Keith Connolly.
survivor. Keith Connolly, welcome.
Hello, I want to thank everybody for coming. First off, I want to say how beautiful of a city Mexico City really is. I'm really amazed by the people here, the landscape. It really is an amazing place.
Saludos a todos, muchas gracias. Es increíble, quiero decir que qué lindo es el país de México. Estoy impresionado con todo lo que he visto.
The way that people have treated myself, Danny, and the rest of Team Jacobs, I'm really thankful for it.
De la manera que nos han tratado a mí y al equipo, estoy muy agradecido con ustedes.
I want to thank a few people. First off, I want to thank Oscar de la Hoya, Canelo Alvarez, for taking this big challenge on May 4th against Danny.
Y quiero darle las gracias a Oscar de la Hoya, a Canelo Álvarez por tomar este reto, este gran reto.
I want to thank Dazn, John Skipper, for really pushing to make this fight.
Quiero darle las gracias a Dazn y a John Skipper por ayudarnos a hacer esta pelea posible.
And lastly, I want to give a big thank you to Eddie Hearn, the best promoter in the world right now. If it wasn't for him, none of this would have happened for Danny.
Y quiero darle también las gracias a Eddie Hearn, el segundo mejor promotor en el mundo. Sorry, I lost it. No, al mejor promotor del mundo, que sin él no hubiera sido posible.
I'm really looking forward to May 4th. I think it not only is the fight and the event of the year in the sporting world, but I do think it's going to be an instant classic. I know Canelo Alvarez is a future Hall of Famer, probably top of the list pound for pound, but I think come May 4th, my guy Daniel Jacobs is going to prove to the world that he belongs up in that top spot.
Estamos muy emocionados por el 4 de mayo, por la gran pelea que se va a dar. Sabemos que Canelo Álvarez es un destinado a ser Salón de la Fama y uno de los más grandes de la historia, pero el 4 de mayo confío que mi peleador Daniel Jacobs va a ganarse esa primera posición.
I look forward to May 4th. I look forward to seeing everybody there. If you're not there, watch it on Dazn. It's going to be a great event. Thank you.
Nos vemos allá. Si no pueden ir a verla en vivo, véanlo por Dazn o por TV Azteca. Gracias.
Gracias a Keith Connolly.
Thank you, Keith Connolly. And now, the man in charge of taking Daniel Jacobs to this moment. Here we have Andre Rosier, Jacobs' manager. Welcome to Mexico City, sir.
Hola, buenos tardes.
Hello, good afternoon.
Habla español un poquito.
This is the Spanish I speak.
So from this point on, I'll have Robert express my ideas. I just want to say, being that we know that the parties involved, Matchroom Boxing, Eddie Hearns, Golden Boy, Oscar De La Hoya, Dazn, they've all come together to put a fight that no one thought was going to happen in place.
Gracias a ambas promotoras, a Dazn, porque esta pelea nadie creía que iba a ser posible. Y aquí estamos.
Danny is a very special individual. Hardworking, dedicated, family man, and he has survived testimonies that most other people could never even fathom.
Danny es un peleador muy diferente, es muy dedicado, disciplinado, de familia, y ha pasado obstáculos que muchos ni siquiera los podrían imaginar.
I affectionately refer to him as my son, and we have worked tirelessly since he was a young teenager to get to this point.
Afectuosamente siempre refiero de él como mi hijo. Hemos trabajado muy duro, incansable para llegar a este punto.
And on May 4th, when he straddles those steps and goes into the ring,
y el 4 de mayo, cuando él suba esos escalones y suba al ring,
I will be looking forward to my son raising his hand in victory.
Y voy a estar esperando que ese mi hijo, terminando la pelea, le levante la mano en victoria.
Thank you so much for the hospitality that you expressed to us since we've been here.
Muchísimas gracias por recibirnos de la manera que nos han recibido desde que llegamos.
Mexico City and its people are wonderful. Thank you so much.
Son increíbles la gente de México y la ciudad también. Gracias.
Bueno, señores, hace el parque del recorrido que ha tenido Daniel Jacobs con su entrenador en el caso.
This is the man who has walked with Jacobs all over his career. If we are to talk about Saúl Canelo Alvarez's manager, how to forget José Chepo Reynoso. Please welcome him, the trainer of Saúl Canelo Alvarez, José Chepo Reynoso.
Muy buenas tardes.
Good afternoon.
Hoy es un día muy especial.
This is a very special day. Because
no puedo evitar acordarme la primera vez que venimos a pelear con Saúl aquí
thinking
a la
about
capital.
the first day
Camarillo?
we came here to fight in Mexico
Contra el
City.
Mazatleco Fish,
Remember,
un jovencito,
against
jovencito.
El Mazatleco
Todavía está
Fish,
joven, pero
he was very, very young.
muy jovencito.
He's still a young man, but then he was a teenager.
Y los tiempos han cambiado.
And times have changed.
Ahora me siento un poco nostálgico.
Now
al ver
I am
tanta
feeling
gente que vino.
nostalgic just to
Todo lo que
see
el nombre de
the
Canelo
crowd
Alvarez
here
provoca.
present, to feel all that Canelo produces.
Son muchos años de caminar.
It has been many years now.
Son muchos años de trabajar fuerte.
A
para
lot of
lograr a
years
donde ha
of
llegado,
hard work.
donde hemos llegado todos.
That's why he has gotten
Gracias, Saúl.
where he is now. Thank you,
Gracias,
Saúl.
Canelo, por la confianza
Thank you,
que tuviste en
Canelo,
los
for the
Reynosos.
trust you have had
orgulloso
in
de
the
ti, me siento
Reynosos.
orgulloso de mi hijo por
I
lo que
am
se ha
proud of
logrado.
you, and I am proud as well,
Gracias,
my
Rubén
son.
Olivares, porque
Thank
fuiste
you,
mi inspiración cuando yo era un
Olivares,
muchachito de
because
14,
you
15 años que veía
inspired
tus
me
peleas
when
en
I
el-
was
en el
a
fútbol de Los Ángeles.
14-year-old teenager.
Gracias
Thank you,
porque ahí fue donde me entró el
because
gusanito por el
that's
boxeo.
where I knew boxing was
Y
for
bueno,
me.
es una tarde muy especial.
And this is
estar
really
nuevamente en la
a
Ciudad de
special,
México, tantos
beautiful
medios, como
afternoon
repito,
in
cuando venimos
Mexico
con el
City.
Mazatleco Fish,
I am thinking about that afternoon
Casi
when
no
we
había
were
medios,
to fight
pero
El
ahora-
Mazatleco Fish.
ahora está
Those
muy
were very
bonito, me
different
siento muy
times,
contento.
no media practically,
Y bueno,
and just look at this crowd.
el próximo
So,
4 de mayo
see you on May 4th.
van a ver una gran pelea.
You
Dicen
will
por ahí
see
que
a great
estilos hacen
fight.
peleas, y esa es la verdad.
They say that boxing styles make fights, and it's true. So you are going to see Saúl Canelo Alvarez #1 against Daniel Jacobs #2. What is to be expected? A great boxing showdown. What people deserve. And when you say, when people ask Saúl if he is not afraid to face challenges, I can answer that from when he was a boy, I was scared of the challenges he undertook. That's how I saw him overcome obstacles and fight against different fighters in different divisions. I have seen him lose and gain weight. I am used to seeing him facing all these challenges. Now I trust in him. He's a very disciplined fighter. He works hard, and maybe this May 4th, everybody will say, Viva México, Viva el Canelo. Thank you very much.
Emocionado José Chepo Reynoso, que ha sido el constructor precisamente de esta gran historia llamada Saúl el Canelo Álvarez. Y el hombre estratega, el hombre cerebral, el hombre que tiene que poner toda su inteligencia para establecer justamente el camino
all his intelligence to push el Canelo upwards. Eddie Reynoso,
manager a nivel internacional.
His manager. Thank you, Eddie. Welcome.
Pues buenas tardes.
Good afternoon.
Agradecidos con toda la gente que vino.
Thank you to you all, to this crowd. There's a lot of sun. It's very hot. Thank you to you all. To Danny Jacobs, to Saúl El Canelo. We are very happy. We have been working with El Canelo for almost 15 years now, and we have been looking for one challenge and objective after another. And this is what we like the most. Great fights to put our imprint on Mexican history. And I think his work, his discipline has allowed us see him grow up. We are very happy, and as my dad says, we are very thankful for El Canelo's trust. What I have to say is that we have to work hard every day. We have to learn every day. This is a very important commitment on May the 4th. We do want to make him the unified middleweight champion of the world. Something no one has achieved. We have won Golovkin, and now it's Danny Jacobs. For me, he is one of the best middleweight champions. So life is about challenges, boxing is about challenges, and if you want to make history, we have to defeat Danny. We are going to be there, ready for this fight. And as I said, thankful to all the people doing the promotion. You know, boxing is more alive than ever. Thank you to the press, to the Mexican press. Thank you. Good afternoon.
Por supuesto, llegó el momento de la presentación de uno de los estelares. Sin duda alguna, ser campeón del mundo,
introduce one of our stars. I am talking about this champion who overcame bone cancer, Danny Jacobs, Daniel Jacobs. He's the champion of the International Boxing Federation. He brought his belt, but he wants El Canelo's belts. Now please welcome the miracle man, Daniel Jacobs.
It's such a pleasure to be here today with you guys. Thank you very much for coming and being a part of this wonderful event.
Es un gran placer estar con todos ustedes hoy y ser parte de este gran evento.
The fact that this is a really great output shows that you guys really care about this sport. And for us guys putting our lives on the line, we truly appreciate that, so we thank you.
La demostración de tanta gente demuestra que este deporte sigue más vivo que nunca, y nosotros que ponemos nuestras vidas en la línea, muy agradecidos con todos ustedes.
And I know my team already showed our gratitude for your hospitality, but I want to personally say thank you because myself being the opponent of Canelo, you guys champion, the hospitality and the genuine love that we received being here is really humbling. So thank you guys once again.
Y la verdad yo sé que mi equipo ya lo dijo, pero yo personalmente se los quiero decir, siendo el rival de su gran campeón de ustedes, la manera que nos han recibido, el cariño que nos han dado, les doy desde el fondo de mi corazón muchísimas gracias.
I want to thank a few people who made this fight possible. I would like to thank my promoter, Eddie Hearns, Dazn, obviously, for everything they've done for me and believing in me and allowing this fight to be possible. My team, Team Jacobs, my manager, Keith Connolly, my family back home. I love you guys. You guys are my biggest motivation.
Quiero darle gracias a mi promotor, Eddie Hearn, a mi manager, Connolly, a mi equipo y a mi familia. Ustedes son mi motivación.
So this fight means everything to me because of the caliber fighter in Canelo. Canelo is a stellar champion, and he's proved that time and time again. And what a worthy opponent to step in the ring with. So I take my hat off to Canelo for accepting this fight. He's a true champion.
La verdad, esta pelea significa todo para mí por el rival que tengo enfrente, un gran campeón que ha peleado con todos, reto tras reto. Me quito el sombrero y te doy las gracias por esta pelea.
That being said, I know it's our duty to make sure you guys receive the best possible fight that you guys can see come May 4th. And I know that's exactly what we're going to do because we bring really great arsenals to the table when it comes to giving our all inside that ring.
Y a nosotros nos toca ahora prepararnos al 100 y traerles ese arsenal, esa de guerrero para darles todo lo mejor arriba del ring.
So whether you guys get a knockout, whether you guys get a great decision, whether you guys get an all-action-packed fight, I know you guys are going to be pleased with the performance because this opportunity means everything to me, and I can speak for Canelo when I say that as well.
Y yo sé que sea por knockout o sea por decisión, ustedes se van a llevar una gran pelea. Y puedo decirlo que por parte de Canelo y parte mía vamos a dar todo ahí arriba del ring.
Hopefully I see everyone Cinco de Mayo weekend in Las Vegas. I know if you guys can't make it, $10, you'll be able to sign up for Dazn and see this fight such a affordable price. I'm grateful to be a part of the new wave of technology.
Y si no pueden llegar en vivo, espero verlos a todos allá, pero si no, véanla por Dazn, que un precio increíble, nueva tecnología en el boxeo y obvio también por TV Azteca.
I will give my very best come May 4th, and I guarantee you, to you guys, and to my family back home, and to everybody supporting me throughout the world, I will become champ and king come May 4th. Thank you.
Les prometo dar todo lo mejor de mí y les garantizo que ese día voy a ser no solamente campeón, sino que el rey de la división. Gracias.
Bueno, pues ahí está Daniel Jacobs. Aplausos y reconocimiento
Jacobs.
a un boxeador
Thank
que
you.
tiene el gran don de la palabra y un
He's a
caballero,
man
sin duda alguna.
who
Aplausos
is
a
a
Daniel
true
Jacobs.
gentleman. Thank you,
Gracias, en
Daniel.
efecto, Charlie, sin duda alguna, un gran deportista, un gran rival
He's a
para lo que
great
será una
athlete
gran noche el
and
próximo
champion.
4 de mayo. Pero llegó el momento
And now,
estelar justamente
this
de
is
esta
the stellar
presentación
moment of this
aquí en el Ciudad de
presentation
México, en las
in
instalaciones de
Mexico
TV
City,
Azteca.
in
El
the
hombre que ha
installations
marcado
of TV
diferencia, el
Azteca.
hombre que
The
es el
man
mandón
who has
arriba del
changed
cuadrilátero hoy por hoy, el hombre que es garantía de
boxing
espectáculo
in
y
Mexico.
generador de grandes
This man who
audiencias.
generates
Hoy por hoy, el
huge
mejor libra por
audiences,
libra, Saúl
the best
Canelo Álvarez.
pound-for-pound fighter, Saúl El Canelo Alvarez.
Muchas gracias.
Thank you
Primero que
so
nada,
much.
Quiero agradecerle a
First,
todos ustedes
of all, I want to thank you. You have always given me all your support. This helps you keep on fighting and winning. Thank you to the media, Dazn, TV Azteca, for treating me this way. Thank you, Daniel and Daniel's team, for accepting coming to Mexico City. This is a very important promotion for me to come to my country. Makes me feel proud. It fills me with pride. I am very thankful to be able to represent you. Thank you so much. And what I do want to communicate to you is that what I want to do is to be an example for the kids and for young people. If you dream a dream, you can make it true. Whatever it is, if you visualize it, you can get it. Thank you, and see you on May the 4th. As you know, I will do my best. I will prepare myself to the fullest. I know what a challenge and opponent Danny is, but I will be ready to win this fight this May the 4th for Mexico to come back as a champion, as the unified middleweight champion of the world. Thank you very much.
Bueno, pues ahí están las palabras de Saúl Canelo Álvarez. Prácticamente,
Canelo Alvarez.
Todos se han dejado un gran mensaje en torno
Thank you, gentlemen, for your messages. We do know what to expect on this fight on May the 4th in TV Azteca and on the Dazn platform in the US and the world. In this moment, we do have an opportunity to ask questions. If someone wants to ask a question, please say the name of your media, your name, and ask your question. Thank you. I am Jorge Morales. I come from W World Colombia.
The main reason why Canelo decided to face Golovkin after he saw that someone was able to compete toe-to-toe against him?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that question? Sorry about that.
No problem. My name is Jorge Morales from W Radio of Bogotá, Colombia. And my question is that if you think that you are the main reason why Canelo decided to face Gennady Golovkin, because maybe he realized that someone was able to stand in front of him toe-to-toe for 12 rounds in a ring.
That's really not for me to say. I mean, that's for you guys to make that assessment, but I definitely, in my opinion, gave the blueprint to defeat Gennady Golovkin. So whether or not he followed that same game plan, we don't know. I mean, I have a different style from Canelo, so yeah, I can't really answer that, but at the same time, I'm just glad I have this opportunity, and I look forward to bigger and better things in the near future.
José Luis Camarillo from El Esto. This is a question for the Dazn people, for Oscar de la Hoya. Now it's going to be very cheap to see these big fights. It's amazing that with $10 you will be able to see this fight in the US. But here in Mexico, even the videos Golden Boy publishes, or Dazn USA, they publish them on Twitter. We cannot see them because they are blocked. In Mexico, we do not have access to this material. But there is so much interest that I think it would be great for Dazn to enter Mexico, to give us the chance to see these huge, big fights.
And our focus is on those markets and the markets we're in right now. That's our focus at the moment.
En este momento estamos enfocados en los mercados que
In this moment, we are focused on these markets.
Estados Unidos y Canadá, pero ahorita solamente son esos mercados. Gracias por su pregunta.
And we're very committed to working in partnership with our friends at TV Azteca to deliver the best possible broadcast experience for fans in the US and in Mexico on May the 4th.
Lo que sí les puedo decir, estamos totalmente en una alianza con nuestros amigos de TV Azteca para traer las mejores peleas a nivel mundial acá a México por TV Azteca.
Y completamente gratis, solo sintonizando Azteca 7.
Buenas tardes a todos, mi nombre es Agustín Juárez de
I am Agustín Juárez of Saturday Night Boxing. I have one question for El Canelo, one question for Danny. Saúl, we do know that it is not good for you to say that you are going to win, but we do know that you could become the unified middleweight champion of the world. What would you like the best, to fight Gennady Golovkin? And for Danny, I have another question.
I know that you're also a friend of Mr. Andre. Would you be interested in unifying all the division, or would you be looking forward to a rematch with Gennady Golovkin? Gracias.
About your question, whomever is there, my commitment now is on this May the 4th. All my respect for this fight, for Danny. My complete effort will be focused on this fight. I do want to win these 4 titles.
Well, I think it would be injustice to look forward to any other fight after before my bout with Canelo. Canelo is a tremendous champion, and I know he's a great talent that I have to respect. I can't put myself in a position after what's not seen, because we don't know. In boxing, anything can happen. I'm sure I'll be victorious, but like I said, it's very disrespectful to look ahead when you're facing such a champion.
Sería una falta de respeto ya empezar a pensar más adelante, especialmente cuando tengo un rival como es Canelo Álvarez enfrente. Estoy seguro que voy a ser victorioso, pero ahorita su respeto y la pelea es el 4 de mayo.
Miguel Garcia for El Esto Online. Saul, some years ago, May the 5th, September 15, belonged to a Mexican boxer like Floyd Mayweather. What does it mean for you to recover these dates, especially when you're going to fight Danny Jacobs on May 5th weekend? For me, it's a true honor to fight on these dates. It fills me with pride, and I do understand their responsibility, I'm assuming, because I know I am representing Mexico, and an important date. Erika Montoya for Milenio Canelo. I would like to know if you see Danny Jacobs as a true threat, especially after knowing he's a bone cancer survivor. What I know is that he has a very special mentality. I know he's a champion, and that makes him stronger, a very hard opponent. I know what I do have and what I will have to face in the ring. I see him as a great champion, and I know about his mind. But I am an elite fighter. I will prepare 100%, and I will be there, ready to give you a great win. So my other question is, if you believe this will be your last 160-pound fight. We saw what you did with Rocky Fielding. If you do have a great win, do you think this is going to be your last 160-pound fight? No. This is the weight in which I feel the most comfortable. I think I am going to stay in this weight for a long time. But of course, I would like to face different challenges, like a 168-pound. But for now, I am good in here. Jorge Lara for Multimedios Deportes. Saúl, do you see in the middle or the long term a fight here in Mexico? Would you do it, and why not? Like in a scenario like El Estadio Azteca, the Aztec Stadium. I have not considered that possibility, but I have always said that coming to Mexico to fight was one of my top priorities. Now it's more difficult for me because of my agenda, but coming to Mexico has always been a great honor to me, because I always feel I am fighting for Mexico. Saúl Emanuel Campa for Imagen. I would like to ask you if you see a possibility of a knockout against Danny Jacobs. His last knockout was 9 years ago. Are you looking for a knockout, or are you looking for a 12-round fight? I can tell you that every fighter that goes into the ring, you are always looking for the knockout. It's a spectacular way to win, and people love it. Of course, I'm going to look for a knockout, but I'm going to prepare 100%. I'm going to prepare for a 12-round fight. Saúl Osiris Méndez, have you thought to celebrate 3 fights this year in May, September, and maybe December? My objective right now is May and September. Those are the dates I have. After those fights, after the fight on May the 4th, I will see the way I feel. Preparing is very hard work. You need to rest. But if everything is right, maybe yes, why not? Thank you to all the media. Your presence is very important for the coverage of this great event. Now, this is the moment of the face-to-face between Saúl El Canelo Alvarez and Danny Jacobs. We will have more than time enough for the photographs. Saúl is taking his belts. Danny is taking his belt, the IBF belt.
Ahí los tienes, precisamente, Lama, a los protagonistas del próximo día 4 de mayo.
Here we have the fighters that will meet this May 4th. Champions, middleweight champions. We know this is going to be a historic fight for boxing. We have a great fight this May 4th. This is the face-to-face. We know boxing is alive.
Ahí está el face-to-face justamente entre Saúl Canelo Álvarez y Daniel Jacobs.
This was the face-to-face between Saúl El Canelo Alvarez and Danny Jacobs. Thank you all for being here in the House of Boxing in Box Azteca. Let us remember that this fight will be on May the 4th between Saúl El Canelo Alvarez and Daniel Jacobs. Thank you, Oscar de la Hoya, Joe Markowski, Mauricio Sulaimán, Eddie Hearn, Keith Connolly, André Rosier, José Chepo Reynoso, Eddie Reynoso, Danny Jacobs, Saúl El Canelo, and Mr. Ciurana, Alberto Ciurana. Thank you very much for your attendance.
Done. Unplug anything just yet. No? Stay on for now. You're okay. You okay? Okay. You're good.
Thank you. Yeah.